Yo, yo, yo. Peace to the family. Hope everybody is doing well out there in radio land. Shout out to everybody out there, man, catching vibes, catching positive energy. Y'all know who I am. If you don't know who I am, my name is Kyrie. People call me Hood. People call me the Hood Mystic. I've been doing videos like this for years where I look up at the sky and monitor it. Not even monitor it, just kind of do an investigative study in relation to what's happening celestially. I've always been interested in what happens in the sky celestially, and in this actual study of astrology, at the end of the day, it has not ever hurted me. I don't know if I'm using the correct termage or the correct verbiage, but it has never hurted me to tune in and to tap into astrological concepts. Some of y'all is too deep, too conscious. Y'all got too much money. Y'all look too damn good to worry about what's happening in the stars. And, good for you, big fam. Good for you, big sis. Yo, earthy ass out here, all physical material, all stuck in Malkuth. But, I've been able to really attune myself to the celestial occurrences. And because of that, man, I don't feel like I'm special because of it. I just feel like it's regular NBA talk. You know how some people motherfucking kick it about the NBA? They'll just be talking about the NBA all day. They love talking about NBA. You can always ask your dad, how LeBron doing? You know, LeBron just hit him for 28, 15, and 11, nigga. Well, that is my version of that. It's astrology. So today we are going to be discussing the full moon in Pisces. We're going to do it from a sidereal Vedic perspective, meaning that we're going to look at the moon. We're going to look at the nakshatra, see what the esoterics is about, but essentially we relate and we revert all of this information back to who? Not your mama, not your daddy, not your greasy grandmammy, but to you. And also, this is a cash business. My cash app is in the upper left hand corner. Go ahead and drop $2, $3 up in that thing. Mainly because me and the Mystics, we are on another road trip up to Mackinac, because we going to experience this full moon in Pisces in 3D while y'all be looking at the goddamn full moon from, your balcony, from your project window, like you Nas or some shit. Hey, we gonna be up in Mackinac, dapping up goddamn serious. Like, what up, nigga? What up, man? Hey, man, I've been getting all them offerings you've been giving me too, fam. Good looking. All of the stars, all of the ancestors, right over the water. I'm telling you, it's lit. I would send y'all pictures, but it's too damn dark for none of that, so it's gonna be for our eyes only. However, we do got one spot left in the van, so if anybody want to just hop in with us, feel free to hit me or Baba Mystic up. Or if your family is in the Detroit area, Midwest area, and y'all want to do it, like it's like 1,000 hotel rooms, and they all cheap as fuck. So it's really a go, and it's a good time. We leaving early in the morning, like super early, so we can just get a good foot on the day, because we're going to Mackinac Island, get into some Nana Bozo energy. You feel me? Oh man, it's gonna be lit. I used to hear a lot of niggas talk about Turtle Island, and I thought it was the whole country until I realized that Turtle Island is in fact Mackinac Island, in the home of where Nana Bozo went to go get his like chill on, the place that I used to dream about. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to go to the motherfucking center of the universe, my guy. So I'm super excited about tomorrow. But like I said, if you're in Detroit and you down to take a ride, I mean, you could go. Essentially, it's 3.5 hours from the D. So figure however that look for you. You feel me? You could, but for real, I would love if y'all tuned in and tapped in with the mystics. Reason why we going and why we went last week and we going a week again because after this week, like the next moon cycle is gonna be shut down because it's like from the springtime to like around this time, and then the island kind of shut down. So we catching our last little bits, you feel me? And I'm enjoying what was a fucking epic summer, and I'm kind of capping it out with this full moon and Pisces energy. So like I said, the invitation is open. We got space for one. You'll probably be nestled in between two car seats, but I mean, at least you would be dapping up serious at the end of the day. Not too many people said they ever dapped up serious before. So it's lit. And next year, boy, I'm there every goddamn month. You hear me? Every month. We up in Mackinac. Niggas is gonna be like, there go Hood. The old white people. What up, Hood? I'll be like, what up? Hey, is that intense? The degree of you and the stars and being able to see all of the stars that exist in the sky without no devices, no telescopes, just like the same view that your ancestors received, it is nothing like it. And so that's how I would be spending my full moon in Pisces. If you're doing something interesting, comment on the video below. Let me know what the hell is going on for your full moon in Pisces. Why is this full moon in Pisces so important? Because essentially, when you think of anything astrologically, Pisces essentially represents the end. This is when you have the baby. This is the culmination of said moon cycle. So the dope thing about me is that you could go to my channel or to my website and type in full moon in Aries. So you could figure out what time and when that was, or even look online, see when the full moon in Aries was. Where did you expect to be, 13 moon cycles ago? Where are you at today? Did you make any progression? Are you in the same spot? Is shit gotten a little scary? Okay. So Pisces essentially isn't one of those places that are like very pleasant in reference to most people don't give a fuck about their spiritual journey. Most people care about their money. Most people care about their cars, their houses, their relationships, their overall, right? But in general, you either got it or you don't got it, right? But essentially, that's not really saying too much about anything because when it comes down to the come down, people be really confused about the spiritual shit and how it relates to them. So, my message, I feel like while I'm alive in 2021 and doing the work that I do and have been doing, is to teach anybody who comes into my grass, anybody that comes into my vicinity, anybody that steps into my aura, whether they believe it or not, that they are gods. So many people that I come in contact, thousands at this point of people that I've talked to, rubbed shoulders with, had conversations with, all due to this wonderful thing we call YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. All of these people that I come in contact with, they believe that God is somebody out in the sky. And if you tell them that they are specifically God, that's a hard thing to come across. That's almost a blasphemous thought. But I've been in this business long enough to see people come from point A to all the way to point Z, from nothing to something, and referencing them understanding that God exists within them. So, me, I'm just a regular guy seeking out regular people in the midst of understanding their spiritual journey. A lot of people is tapped in and tuned in to agentry. Isn't it all of a sudden that people have just walked into their spiritual journey, and because of them walking into their spiritual journey, they have all of these subscribers and all of these views? I'm not saying that people are agents, but maybe they are. You just never know out here in these streets. So when you talk about full moon in Pisces, it's the black spirituality, and the black spirituality not being authentic. So I feel like anybody that comes in contact with my content is somewhat, fortunate in the space to know that one, that they are gods, and two, this shit ain't mumbo jumbo. There's actually a sweet science to understanding celestial constellations. And so, with that being said, let's get into the conversation. Full moon in Pisces, baby. So, we're going to be talking about a select view of things because, as I said, if we were to look into the skies, guess what we would see? Family and truth. We would see billions upon millions upon trillions of stars, and they're moving, and all types of shit is happening in the stars. Like, I always reflect on great Egypt. I remember living in Egypt and how there was never a night. And you say, what you mean there was never a night? I mean, the sun would set, Ra would set, but when Ra would set, Saturn would rise, our second sun, Set. So when Set would rise, it would create, it was dark, but Saturn was so close to the Earth that you could see its rings, you could see its energy, and it would create a light. And so the energy that came about of that was the energy of Osiris, right? Because Osiris and I'm trying to think, and I don't want to get to lying. It just escapes me right now, but I want to make a point. So God of the evening sun, Egypt, Atum, okay? So I want to kind of talk about something and get into this conversation. So just kind of bring up a point. Atum was a self-created deity, the first to belong to emerge from the darkness and endless watery abyss that existed before creation, a product of the energy and matter contained in this chaos. He created his children, the first deities, out of loneliness. He produced from his own sneeze, or in some accounts, semen, or Shu, the god of air, and Tefnut, the god of moisture. The brother and sister, curious about the primeval waters that surrounded them, went to explore the waters and disappear into the darkness. Unable to bear his loss, Atum sent a fiery messenger, the Eye of Ra, to find his children. The tears of joy he shed upon their return were the first human beings. So essentially, this little paragraph is going to be more of what we're talking about, but it's kind of weird how everything connects, but everything seems different and spread out, and that there's going to be a whole lot of information that people have to uncover to get to the truth. Well, there's a simple thing: you are the truth, and everything results to your Kundalini. But back in the days of Egypt, when Saturn was close to the sky, it was never dark. So, why the pyramids were built and why Egypt was so great is because we always saw. There was never a time of darkness, so even when there was sleep, there was still work being done. Now, the reason that people sleep so much is because of melanin. What tends to happen is when it gets dark, your melanin takes over. And when your melanin takes over, you say shit like, I'm so sleepy, I'm tired, oh, and then you just fall asleep, right? In general, if you like are tired and you cut all the lights off and it gets dark, you just slowly drift off to sleep. What that is the melanin taking over. Okay? But if it was light time and you at the club and you having a good time and there's lights and things happening, or you're walking downtown, you could be like, oh shit, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm not even tired. Well, your melanin hasn't specifically taken over to bring you to sleep. So what you may have, what might look like Egypt, would be places like America and New York City, but essentially they say the city never sleeps, but that's because the city is never dark. It's always lights. And lights doesn't allow for the melanin to take place. So essentially, um, I just felt like talking about Egypt. So that was random and probably didn't have nothing to do with nothing, but I felt like it's always an interesting story as I'm thinking about Egypt. So back to the conversation. The Sun conjunct Mars, conjunct the vertex. We'll be discussing that. We'll also be discussing the Moon and the first decan of Pisces, but also we'll be discussing the Nakshatra, Uttara, Bhadrapada, in reference of the esoterics and the Vedic astrology associated with this awesome full moon in Pisces. So this is what I do. A full moon, a new moon, a quarter moon, a balsamic moon, a goddamn vinaigrette moon, you feel me? If some shit is happening in the sky, I just do research. And then I do research and I'll be like, that's interesting. And instead of sitting like a fat rat with the cheese, shout out to Ann Banks, I share my information, family. It's a cool little formula. I think y'all should do it too. But I'm going to keep going. Today, we're going to be talking about the beautiful sun ingressing into Virgo. It is finally Virgo season when it comes to sidereal astrology. I know a lot of people have been referencing the sun in Virgo already. However, sidereal astrologists, we are moving into a different energy. Now, you can clearly feel the shift of energy in reference to sun ingressing into Virgo, but people who don't study sidereal astrology will just act like this shit is not taking place. And of course, we will be talking about the moon in Pisces, ingressing into Pisces for 2 to 3 days. As I stated earlier, this full moon represents a culmination of a cycle. So essentially, with that culmination of the cycle, guess what, family? You are still here. So if you are still here, what does that say about your energy? It says specifically that you are indestructible, but do you tune in and tap into the energy of indestructibility? But essentially, where are you indestructible at? Can't say you're indestructible to mind because you went crazy before. Can't say you're indestructible to heart. You got your heart broken before. Can't say you're indestructible to body because your body been in all types of pain, been broken up. But yet and still, you on your Maya Angelou shit. I rise. Yet I rise. Nigga, how do you rise all the time? You ever seen somebody literally indestructible? They've been smoking crack for years, drinking liquor. It's people that I know, and this is so crazy, and I never understood it, but I wouldn't even talk about it if I didn't witness it. People who do heroin and say, "Oh my God, it brings me down too low. Let me get some crack so I can be balanced." And it's just like, why don't you just do nothing and just be balanced? Like, why do you have to, like what is going on? Like, but I digress. So people out here doing heroin, crack, Xannies, Xanny bars, Percocet 30s and 10s, all types of shit. Yet it's still Maya Angelou, yet I rise. Okay? So in reference to indestructibility, this moon feels like to me, as a spiritual being having a human experience, the energy of Jagannath. So indestructible made me think of Juggernaut, which is the anglicized name or the I don't even know how to characterize um the oppressor, but for the Hindu god Jagannath and the Lord of the universe, Jagannath is a form of Vishnu. Keep that in mind as we get into these deeper conversations. Is a form of Vishnu who presides over the massive temple in Puri in India alongside his brother Balenciaga. This is gonna be one of them silly videos. I can already tell. The most famous ritual at all Puri Temple, and maybe if you was a longtime fan, you may have caught Jagannath stories that I had from time to time. But we not here for that. But just understand that Jagannath is a very powerful deity that one could tune in and tap into to utilize what energy and indestructibility. Why? Why would you need to invoke your indestructibility? Lord, if you anything like me, people got you fucked up every single day, all day, left, right, up, down, got you fucked up, right? People want to come at you all types of ways, but hey, how you doing? It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. Like, you met everybody in the world except Mr. Rogers, yet and still, I rise. You indestructible. So, vest your energy into that. Tap into that energy, because look, people gonna have you fucked up, and I personally have not understood why they have me so fucked up. So I damn for sure can't figure out why they got you so fucked up. But at the end of the day, we both can agree that they got us fucked up. So yet and still, we gotta tap in and tune into our Maya Angelou and let's rise to this energy. So, like I said, we'll be discussing the sun and Virgo. So we gonna get into the sun first. I figure let's deep dive into the sun and then let's finish up and tune back into the moon, the nakshatra, because essentially we saying the same thing, but we can always get confused about what's the most important things in our lives, thinking that maybe something external is. So the sun in Virgo, which falls in the first decan of Virgo, which falls at the 4 degree of sidereal Virgo. And so the 4 degree in the mandala Sabian symbol book speaks to inner strength. And so the symbol for inner strength, the narrative for inner strength is an angel. So the message of the sun in Virgo is a very simple message. We all have guardian angels, but are you tuned into them? You would not be alive today, family, ladies, gentlemen, children. My language, I don't necessarily understand nothing of what I say. I sometimes listen to these recordings and I wonder, who in the hell did they let get the fuck on YouTube? Why did they let him get on YouTube? Why wouldn't they, like, what is going on? Never realizing that it's me. Like, goodness gracious, I can't believe people listen to this dude. But I digress. Let me scroll up so y'all can see. We all have guardian angels, but are you specifically tuned into them? Because a lot of people will go into this full moon in Pisces energy. Now, if y'all follow me on Instagram, y'all can bear witness that I've come into the fact that Metatron is my Lord Jesus Savior. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. Y'all can't tell me that Metatron ain't that nigga. There's no way a nigga can tell me Metatron don't be down here influencing shit, but he a spiritual entity. It's like I've done tuned in and tapped in and transferred so much spiritual entities from Pambajira to goddamn Metatron to Jagannath to goddamn Oshun Ibu Kule, like goddamn Lilith, like all of these energies that niggas would like motherfuckers be like, yo, Hood, they had me fucked up till you did your video, Hood. Thank you, Hood. Thank you, Hood. Because motherfuckers really did think that shit was sweet, or niggas did think that I ain't even exist. Motherfuckers would be praying to goddamn Yaldabaoth and Yahweh and goddamn Jehovah. All them niggas, Saturn and Mars. Like, goddamn, can a bitch get some love? Right? What about your goddamn guardian angel, fam? Did you give any ashe to your guardian angel today? No. Y'all niggas woke up and said, I'm all alone. I ain't got nobody that love me. My baby daddy. Your goddamn lame ass baby daddy. And we is not going to talk about Jermaine's ass today because he always, listen, I take you out to eat, you start talking about Jermaine's ass. Me and you was out to, look, my wallet, my credit card, my tip worked hard for this shit. And you want to sit down and have your dinner with me and talk about Jermaine. Listen, have you tuned into your guardian angels today? Because your guardian angel is not Jermaine. It never was, never could be. It's so much, like, I was having a download, and I'll keep going. Spirit was like, you know for sure that your daddy was an ain't shit nigga. So why would you be raised by that dude, fam? Like you, like I wasn't even like I was mad or nothing. It just was just a download. Like, spirit, that's a message. Cause Lord knows how fucked up I would be if that nigga was around me every single day. Lord knows it ain't no single mom negative energy over here. Look, sometimes that nigga not being around is a blessing. Have you tuned into your guardian angels today? I'm just wondering. So, of course, the sun is in the first decan of Virgo. And you know me, I'm a decan astrologist. I don't talk about shit unless I look at what decan the sun is in. So the sun is in the first decan of sidereal Virgo, right? It got Mars there and it got the vertex there. And you like, Hood, what's the vertex? Tell me what the vertex is. I ain't never heard of a vertex. I'm interested. We gonna talk about it. Don't worry, I got you. So the first decan of Virgo is ruled by the eight of disc. The eight of disc is the sun in Virgo. The sun is a very powerful energy source. Got another download. I ain't even gotta even apologize because this is some real ass shit. So boom, right? We be paying electric bills, right? And I was thinking like, boom, that's a whole fucking that's some shit, right? And then they be like, the grids is going to break down and we ain't going to have no electricity. What we going to do in the grid? And I was thinking like, and I would get scared. And then Spirit was like, you know that white people don't generate electricity, right? And I said, Spirit, what you mean? I pay all my shit to AEP, goddamn Detroit Power, goddamn Atlanta Power. What you mean they don't create electricity? Cause I've been paying electric bills my whole life. I'm 37, Spirit. I've been living on my own since I was 16, Spirit. So let's do the math. That's 21 years, Spirit. I've been paying electricity bills. So how you mean they don't create electricity? They don't mine it from the ground or nothing like that? He said no. The sun gives electricity to the planet. People been harnessing the energy of the sun through solar panels and things of that nature. Like, you better get you a solar panel, fam, and start conserving energy. And then I was like, oh, yeah, the sun is giving us energy and you can harvest it, redistribute it, redirect it, do all types of crazy shit. So it's like, well, the Egyptians, they were archaic people. They didn't know nothing because they didn't have any wires and things. The sun powers everything down here. You could bear witness to a solar powered panel right this minute. You feel me? So say that to say the sun is in Virgo. So essentially, you might be wondering, where is my ashe? Where is my spiritual power? Where is my energy? And how will I be anything? Like, I don't want to not be nothing in life. My thing is, you got the sun shining down on you, sis. You got the sun shining down on you, bro. So you mean to tell me a motherfucking solar panel? What color is a solar panel? Is this what color is a solar panel? Solar panel dark, blue, black? Okay, okay. I'm just asking, just making sure. I ain't never seen no gray. I ain't never seen no gray solar panel either. Why is you even bringing that up? What color is a solar panel? But anyways, if a solar panel can generate energy and steal energy from the sun, why the fuck can't you? So you mean to tell me you out here worrying about Jermaine's ass, and you ain't out here sunbathing, sun gazing, sun absorbing? I mean, some people need to put on suntan lotion and things of that nature, but I ain't never caught no skin tan. I ain't never caught no sunburn, or maybe I caught it. I just didn't realize it. But I'm moving on. But I just wanna put you in the mind of Virgo because Virgo is an Earth sign, but is also a sign of harvest. So in reference to harvest, so they say ancient people were sun worshippers, like they were stupid. I feel like you dumb as fuck if you don't worship the sun. Like how the fuck do I take this little ass seed, put it in the earth, and then be having orgies, having threesomes, having all types of wild sex, and then come out 6 months, 3 months later, and there's a whole goddamn bush of corn. So after I didn't do nothing to this ground, I made sure no rats came through. But I didn't do nothing. I was eating dinner. I was having breakfast. I was going to the mall, just checking on my garden from time to time. But lo and behold, the damn sun was shining down on my fucking garden and grew some food so I could feed my body. So the next spring I could have wild orgies and threesomes and things of that nature. So, what a time to be alive, right? The sun is shining down, invigorating us, and yet and still people are not sun worshippers. They are not moon worshippers. They are baby daddy worshippers, and I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. Y'all need to stop. So the eight of this, Crowley calls this prudence, but prudence, the etymology of prudence is intelligence, discretion, foresight, practical wisdom to see what is suitable or profitable. So we bring this to light, we bring this to understanding in reference to, you know, that you're going to be successful not because somebody is against you, not because you live in the projects, not because your daddy never took care of you, not because your mama wasn't the best mom in the world, not because something bad happened to you in the past, but because the sun is shining down on your ass right now. For which you have the proper foresight to know, you have the proper practical wisdom to know that it is not you, it is the sun shining down energy that you can harvest that brings about this deeper intelligence, right? Some people couldn't even stand out in the sun. You need to think about that, and then reference to a lot of the messaging of staying in the house. So foresight is essentially psychic nature, and generally this energy is true, right? Everything that I'm saying is true, but what is the disconnect from people in reference to what I'm saying? I'm saying that you can have anything that you want, that you begin to focus on, that you begin to work on, that you begin to put some dedication to, that you begin to commit to. You can have anything that you want, right? And they say, Hood, for real, I can have anything that I want. I say, yes, you can have anything I want. And somebody has told me, they'll get me real close. They'll say, Hood, I got to talk to you. It's very important. I heard from a video you did a couple of weeks ago. You said that I can have anything that I want. And so you probably never heard this before, but here it goes. I really want a bubble light Benz with 20-inch rims. Do you think I can have it, Hood? I would be like, yes, you can have it. But the thing is, with bubble light Benz on 20-inch rims, you might need to be patient, might have to be a little bit focused. You have to be dedicated to it. You got to wake up every day and say, bubble light Benz on 20-inch rims. Bubble light Benz on 20-inch rims. Bubble light Benz on 20-inch rims. And one day, you will wake up and walk up out of your mama's basement. Cause I'm not even going to say that you should want a home. You live in your mama's basement, but hey, I'm not here to judge. Just look in the mirror. Bubble eye Benz on 20-inch rims. Bubble eye Benz on 20-inch rims. But say it 3 times a day. 3 times a day when you wake up. 6 times a day at noon. 9 times a day in the evening. For 369 days. You will have a bubble eye Benz. Well, Hood, I don't want to do that. Because it's hard to have patience in a microwave culture. It's hard when you want love fast. Y'all want to meet Jermaine's ass. See, the thing about Jermaine never was shit, ain't never been shit, and if you would have been a little bit more patient, you would have realized he wasn't shit. You wanted to fall in love the quick, and man, so many people took advantage of that concept within your heart, within your being, and now, you don't even realize that shit. I can go into a relationship with a young lady. I say, if you a man, I say, look, you go to a relationship on the first date and say, look, we about to do a whole bunch of shit over these 9 months, but we ain't about to have sex. I want to know everything about you. I want to kick it with you. I want you to kick it with me. But listen, we not having no sex for 9 months. I want to really get to know you. You could get married off of that. But y'all so fucking horny. I would never be. See, I'm 37-year-old Kyrie. And 37-year-old Kyrie make old Kyrie look like just a ain't shit ass nigga. And I hold that. But I would be remiss if I didn't tell my children, listen, ain't nothing out here in these streets. Ain't nothing out here in these streets. You need to be patient. You need to work on it. You need to be dedicated. You need to get your muscles. You need to understand some shit. You need to read books. You need to be so patient and so dedicated and so committed. Like, cause the reality is you're gonna have difficulties within it. Every relationship is points in times where, oh shit, you was lying, or oh shit, you hurt me. But if you've built up that cachet of real friendship and real companionship and real love, then you can work through it. Even if you got to separate, you can separate through it and come back together, because it's not about hurting that person, because you develop an understanding for this person. This is a good person. And you can reflect on certain instances and you know this person for who they are. You fuck a person on the first night, you ain't got really nothing to look forward to. It's really downhill from there, but just won't nobody tell you. So, can you focus, be patient, allow, and when we get into the overall gist of this full moon in Pisces, you'll understand why I'm saying what I'm saying. Can you focus, be patient? Like, say for instance, you really want love, you really want money, you really do want success. Like, I'm about to start, and it's funny. It's funny. Soothsayer is on the live, cause she just commented like, you need to start a. She said something about sounding like a preacher, and I was like, shit. I always wanted to be a preacher. I grew up wanting to be a preacher. I'm like, shit. You might as well be a preacher. I was like, fuck it. I'll just start the Detroit Church of Consciousness. I'll rent me out a hall. I'm doing an event this Sunday, so if you want to get a reading, more details to come. If you want to come meet and greet, I'll be doing readings this Sunday. But I'm telling you, the following Sunday, I'm gonna do the Detroit Church of Conscious, and I'm gonna stream that bitch live. You feel me? But at the same time, I'm gonna be passing around a collection plate. I'm gonna be playing all types of music. I'm gonna decode Gnostic scriptures. I'm gonna be talking like a fucking preacher, cause like fuck it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm at the point now where it's just like, it's a reason for everything. Like, I be feeling the spirit of C.L. Franklin, I said Patty LaBelle's dad. Lord, everybody looking at me like, boy, you don't know what the hell you be talking about sometimes. But Aretha Franklin's father, like, I used to listen to his sermons like all the time, and they really helped me develop my consciousness. So, with that being said, man, I said my wife, I was like, I'll do the Detroit Church of Consciousness, and I'll I'll do it like a preacher. You know, any preacher that, like, I be studying preachers. I know preachers, right? Preachers rent a building, and then they be like, shit, this building that I'm renting ain't free. You got to help me with this. And then they just keep that same energy. So I'm like, shit, I'm renting this building. I'm pass the collection plate. Is not. Well, I'm not lying. I did pay money for it. You can't donate to the collection plate. And so if a motherfucker get mad that I'm asking for donations, then you just ain't never been to church before. Cause shit, like, I get it. And the thing of it is, the reason why I say church, cause conscious niggas, y'all will look at me like I'm crazy. And then niggas will get on here and do nothing but ramble for 5 hours, and y'all be like, oh my God, you're so amazing, you're so deep. Meanwhile, ain't said shit. It's like a cult of personality. So I said, fuck it, I might as well go to the church. Ain't no competition there. I'd tell them, shit, don't, you are God. There ain't no sense of you believing in Jesus and shit. You are that. Let's talk about it. We can go through these Gnostic scriptures. But I'm saying all of this to say, if I start it, I'm not going to imagine that I start the goddamn shit up and then it's just going to be a huge success. I really do imagine that I'll start it and I'll do it and I'll stream it live, but ain't nobody going to show up. That's what I think. But if I keep being persistent with it, 6 months from now, next moon cycle, being consistent with it, then essentially I'll be in my fucking church. That's how it works. And essentially, I would pay fucking however much it costs to rent the room. If it costs $50, $100, I say fuck it. Every Sunday, I spend $100 and I'll lose it. And I'll never think about it. I'll never want it back. I'm committing $100 to renting this room so I can preach the fucking gospel. Hallelujah. And it's not about the word. It's not about what I'm tempting, because a lot of y'all could be having the same energy with y'all OnlyFans. A lot of y'all can put the same energy to y'all goddamn lingerie business or your sex toy company. You know, you could start selling roses. Who knows? Like the possibilities are endless, okay? But the idea is that you have to be patient, my fellas and friends, because a lot of y'all is young in the space that y'all think that the internet is real. The internet is like 98% cap. When you look out and you look at the grass, you look at the ground, and you plant a seed, it's no shit of where does this seed have a lot of followers? Does this seed have a lot of likes? Does this seed have clout? Seeds don't work like that. It's like, please water me, give me some sunlight. And when you think about your spiritual energy, when you think about your manifestations, they need constant nurturing and they need constant sunlight. And so when we out in nature, like we spend a majority of our time, like we hard body about going out into nature because we need to absorb those chlorophylls, that prana, that energy, that sunlight. Because essentially, we harness that energy and we're able to channel it and do a lot of things like help our children out or just, enjoy our life, be prosperous. Just, it's so much energy out here. And I say all of that to say, y'all be in your house all day and I don't like it. So, manage your home life, manage your career life, but you can't necessarily focus too much energy on one because essentially a lot of people be a lot of cap in their home life just so they can be boss hog in their career life. But essentially, I don't know. No, we got sold a dream. We were told that if you could be the number one person in your job and you could be successful and then once you're successful you could buy a girlfriend essentially or you can buy a boyfriend essentially. But if you ever made it to that level, you 37 over 36, 35 over, you realize people are not to be bought. Like you got money and yet and still you can't really figure that part out. So essentially learning how to be more feminine, ladies, men learning how to be more masculine and stand in your power and essentially carrying this energy into all aspects of your life. What I'm talking about is the hormonal experience of testosterone versus estrogen and living an emotional life, living a life focused on belief versus living a life of focus on vitalization. So for me, it's vegan. During this full moon in Pisces time, you should be thinking about your diet in a space where you're thinking about being vegan, right? You should be thinking about letting meat go. And if you're vegan, you should be moving into raw vegan. And if you're in raw vegan, you should be moving on. Like, there's levels to this shit. If you eating meat, you need to start letting the meat go. Because, this is a process. Ain't nobody just started off. But essentially, we can all say, I have no desire for meat. I have no desire for dairy. You know what I'm saying? And essentially, a raw vegan will say, I have no desire for cooked vegan food. Essentially, we have to get to a point where we are existing off prana and we are existing off Kundalini energy because where people are trying to live forever with these nanobites and things of that nature, we will learn to live forever with our environment because we're not putting in the toxins and we're absorbing the energy for which the creator have put on the world from the fruits and the plants and the minerals and the herbs, right? And for real, the moon in Pisces is moving into a holistic life. So wherever you're at is cool, but you should move into this energy, really letting go of whatever it is that's holding you back, that's going to move you to leveling up. And you know what it is. You know it's having your stomach all fucked up, or it's like you experiencing it and it's a negative feeling, but yet you might feel addicted or you might feel hormonally connected to it. It's time to deal with it. For me, it's sugar and it's salt and it's more of like I'm vegan, but now I'm moving into like raw veganism, juicing and shit like that. So essentially that's where I'm gonna be at next moon cycle, where I'm gonna just be full raw vegan. Like I don't eat cooked food at all. You feel me? Like in reference to eating, like I probably won't. I like already when I eat, I be thinking like, damn, my digestive system is really overworked. And maybe not you. Like me, I've done a lot of eating, but moving on. Okay, so essentially, there's a lot of things that we're processing. There's a lot of things that we're going through. But there's a lot of things that we're manifesting, and generally you don't want to focus on the details. You want to generally know where you headed at. So it's like if you plant a seed, back to the seed analogy, do you process every form of germination? Oh, it is cracked open the seed. Oh, a little bit of goddamn stem came out. Oh, it is broken the surface. Oh, it's got some leaves to it. Oh, it is bloomed. Like, you don't pay attention to every cycle. That's focus on the details. You know, if I plant this seed, a goddamn corn stalk is going to happen and I'm going to eat. So imagining what you're focusing on, what your foresight is focused on, then you allow the sun energy, the lunar energy, to embody it, to bestow it. So we absorb lunar energy. So it, this just came to me. I've been doing this thing on my newsletter where I've been talking about the planets and how they influence the herbs. And then I was just studying it and I would bring forth the information. But what I just received is that these energies, such as the sun, moon, Venus, and things of that nature, it really influences these herbs. Like when it's dark and the planetary energies are shining down and influencing, it may influence us, but it definitely influences the natural life of the planet. And some of these plants and herbs and minerals are really like alien life forms in a sense. So I say all of that to say the energy that influenced the earth is so amazing that astrology is very cool when you release yourself to it, but releasing yourself to the celestial energy is not worrying about every single detail of your life. Like, I know that if I do spiritual work and I'll do videos and I put my best energy into all of the things that I do readings, I prepare energetically for readings, I prepare energetically for all of the things I do. I come through with everything that I do. I know for a fact that I love it. I don't work at a job right now. I am Amazon is looking sexy. Amazon looking like a sexy bitch now. But I'm trying to, I'm trying to put the energy into the things that I'm doing. My wife got ideas. I got ideas. We invested in our ideas. We doing spiritual work. And essentially, it's going to end out in the favorable light. And it's not to say don't worry about the details at all, but essentially know where you're going and know what it takes to get there. And that's really the sun in Virgo. It's a very powerful time for sun energy, active energy, expressive energy, daytime energy, getting your money together, harvest energy. Very important time for that. So, but essentially, you have to know where it is you're going. So, essentially, I said that the sun is conjunct vertex, but vertex would be another word for vortex, what Abraham Hicks talks about. But here's the Google definition of vertex, which the sun will be conjunct during this full moon. So we're talking about magical energy, having a big picture concept going on, really doing some understanding, maybe doing something special. I don't know, coming up to Mackinac, observing the stars. I don't know, whatever. But the vertex is considered one of those points in our charts signaling events that happen to us through no effort or will of our own. All right, so that bird's eye view, really getting one of those, really understanding that this is a powerful time and more or less is more of our energy. Sometimes we can be victims. Sometimes we can feel like don't nobody love us. And generally, people probably don't love you. Generally, you might have fucked up in the past. Generally, you might have knew, may have been ignorant, might have been emotional, might have made hella mistakes. But at the end of the day, with this sun energy, have you tuned in and tapped into your guardian angel? Because at the end of the day, if you are alive today, listening to this video, heart beating, breathing, blood coursing through your body, your ass got a guardian angel. So give him some ashe, give her some ashe, give it some ashe. We are non-binary when it comes to guardian angels. So that was our sun energy. We going foray back to our moon energy and talk about the nakshatra, talk about the tarot card, sum it all up, and get y'all to y'all baby daddies. Jermaine is waiting for you. I don't know why the hell you always listening to Hood Mystic. He always talking down on me. That nigga ain't no psychic. He don't know me. He don't know me. He don't know me. I don't care about the spiritual. I pay the rent though. He don't never say that. Why he don't never say that? I pay the rent though. I pay half, but still. I pay half, but still. It's half. You take it. You take it. You don't say nothing. You take it. So don't be mad at me. Damn, Jermaine. So the Uttara Bhadrapada, the serpent from the depths. Okay, this is the nakshatra, the lunar mansion. So a lunar mansion is essentially the places that the moon falls every moon cycle, and there are, man, it's either 36 or 28. I'm pretty sure it's 36 lunar mansions in reference to these lunar mansions because the moon travels not like a long time to go through a revolution. It takes 28 days for a moon to get through a revelation. So the lunar mansions are very like short encapsulated fixed stars that the moon is generally matched up to, that Vedic astrologers like to reference in reference to either your birth chart or transit. So in reference to well, they really talk about it in birth charts, they really talk about it in transits, but I think it's an interesting conversation to talk about when there's a transit. And I used to put nakshatras on everything, but since it's a lunar mansion, I usually just fixate on where the moon is, what nakshatra the moon is at. So, okay. So this moon is in Uttara Bhadrapada. The key themes of this moon is black magic, occultism, lechery, insight, cognition through deep connections, intelligence, quick wit, and creative work. The deity over the Uttara Bhadrapada is a word that I'm going to struggle pronouncing, but here it goes. Air, I called it Airbud when I was saving it. Airbud, like I had a couple of pictures. I had Airbud 1, Airbud 2, and Airbud 3, but I digress. Airbudnya Samahita belongs to the Panchartra region. Religion is a Vaishnava Tantrika composition and was composed possibly over several centuries within the first millennium of the Common Era of after 300 CE. Airbud literally means the compendium Samahita of the serpent from the depths, from Ahi for serpent and Budna for bottom or root. It is now practically extinct. And not if you've been listening to these past couple of videos I've been doing, it is actually alive and well. This Kundalini energy that is, and it's so interesting. I put out a video a couple of days ago, what is Kundalini? And then I did a video that I felt like was a part two in reference to Mercury. And then I began to do the study of the Uttara Bhadrapada and did the investigation of what the deity was. And it's basically the same thing. And so I kept reading. The Airbuds, Airbud 1, Airbud 2, and Airbud 3, is the deity of Uttara Bhadrapada. He is a Rudra. Airbud 123 means serpent at the base or belonging to the depth. And isn't that so interesting, family, that how these things begin to connect, right? It's so interesting that, I'm into Kundalini, but I felt like, damn, bro, you went hard on the Kundalini stuff. And then I was doing this study and I'm just like, wow, it was a real reason that I was talking about the Kundalini to the family because it's the time of Kundalini, but we're going to keep on reading. So, and if you watch the video that we did on Mercury, we did a whole section on the staff of Caduceus. Now, what does Airbud look like? Look like the damn staff of Caduceus. So, we can go to the video that we did yesterday and say, like, damn, that literally looked like the same thing. And thank you, Chica, for the donation. Ashe, passing a collection plate around. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Amen. Oh, say this is Kundalini. So we ain't even in the Kundalini. We gotta find Mercury ass. Come here, Mercury. And so we did the whole section on the goddamn staff of Caduceus. And I was like, damn, we can't get no deeper on the staff of Caduceus. We killed that, right? It was just like, no more. I don't want no more. And then goddamn Airbud 1, 2, and 3 come with the same goddamn energy. And I'm like, I never even seen Airbud 1 or 2 or 3. Spirit, why you keep telling me about it? You understand? Like, it's just, you know. But when you tuned in and tapped in, you tuned in and tapped in. When you tuned in and tapped in, you tuned in and tapped in. And if you ain't tuned in and tapped in, you just not tuned in and tapped in. So, you know me, I'm reading, I'm keep reading. According to Swami Vivekananda, now if you watch my daily energy readings, I used to start off every daily energy reading with a quote from the man, the myth, the legend, the God himself, Swami Vivekananda. As we start our life, the Kundalini is in a supta or resting state, and it starts rising as we progress in life. Everybody, you, your mama, your greasy grandmama has limited ability to raise the Kundalini. The Ashleisha is an indication of Kundalini in Supta or arrested state, and Uttara Bhadrapada is an indication of Kundalini energy. Isn't that something fucking amazing, family? In a highly raised state. So here I am thinking I'm deep, nothing but the sun shining on my goddamn solar panel. I need to fucking realize that I'm just a fucking solar panel for the sun's energy, and I just need to start spreading my energy to warm the world up. In reference to you are a fucking solar panel too. This is also an indication of the end of the phase as suggested by the deity Rudra. So it ain't gonna get no better than this, family. We got the highest of heights. And if you're looking at your baby daddy Jermaine and Hood just said this is the best that I'm gonna get, I'm a little bit upset. Okay? But you know, Jermaine cool. I'm gonna leave Jermaine's ass alone because I like Jermaine. That's why I mess with him. You know, Jermaine ain't never hurt nobody. So Swami Vivekananda continues to say, the rousing of the Kundalini may come in various ways through the love for God, through the mercy of the perfected sages, or through the power of the analytic will of the philosopher. So essentially, you have the sun in Virgo, which rules analytic, and then philosopher, the lover of knowledge, Pisces energy. So essentially, this full moon, and when you think about celestial energies, because I deal with a lot of astrology, but I also deal with chakras, and generally I didn't ask for it. It was given to me that these things were closely related. And so, in reference to chakra astrology, I tell you what planets align with what chakras in reference to how you can bring these things into understanding. But listen, I'm clearly a fucking philosopher if you look at the etymology of the word. I love knowledge, right? So this full moon essentially is the yearly period that is dedicated to honoring and making peace with your ancestors who have passed away. So this is also dealing with your sexual energy because a lot of people feel like damn Papa did him wrong because he left all his money to your sister and ain't give no money to you, and Papa didn't love you, and all of that human shit that you just holding on and harboring in reference to your ancestors. This is the time to make ashe, because in reference to Mercury, in reference to our ancestors, in reference to our children, we are all one thing. The energies that are not seen aren't because they are not alive and tuned in. You just need to tune in and tap to it. So in reference to the full moon in Pisces, this is all of your ashes and all of your offerings, past lives, future lives, and essentially this is a very spiritual, special time. So if you don't have nobody, and if you feel alone, definitely make some ashe, definitely make a feast, make some food, go out, have a good time. Goddamn, go to Blockbuster or some shit. I don't care. It gotta be a Blockbuster somewhere. Like, have a night of it. Stop beating yourself up. Let that negative energy go. So, in reference to this full moon, the first deacon of Pisces, which generally gets a bad rap, because people don't deal with the etymology of the word, they deal with the definition of the word. So indolence in its definition sense means lazy, stagnancy, but in reference to, in a more Hindu, in a more Sanskrit term, it meant actual perfection in reference to the sages speak that everything is suffering. Life is suffering. However, when you move into the energy of Pisces, where you make peace with your ancestors, where you make peace with yourself, you make peace with your children, you make peace with your energy, you make peace with everything around you, you rise your Kundalini, you honor your spiritual energy. Thus, you are without suffering and pain because you are one with all. You are one with your ancestors. You are one with your family. You are one with yourself. All of these things exist in this moment. And in this moment, tuning in and tapping into it, there is no way you can say I'm suffering. There's no way you can say I'm in pain. You can't say, Archangel Metatron, you care about everybody, but you don't care about me. You can't say that. You can say, I'm going to tune in to the energy of higher celestial energies if I'm down and out, and I'm going to raise myself up. There's no way that the fucking sun is going to raise down and fucking skip your ass. And trust me, the only way that I'm here speaking to y'all is because I am the worst. That's the only way I could get this message across. Cause if I was able to be healed, if I was be able to be turned around, then there have to be some truth to this shit. Cause if you knew people who knew me, they wouldn't say nothing but bad shit about me. And I wouldn't say that they was lying. I say, yeah, they right. But I really did the work into healing myself. I really got to a point that, I done been through the worst. And in reference to the spiritual work, what do you get out of it? You get indolence without pain, without suffering, where everybody is suffering because they exist in Malkuth and they stay disconnected from source. But see, I understood from a long time ago, because if you tuned in, tapped into my message, I'm a child of Jagannath. What I've understood about myself spiritually is that I was indestructible. But essentially, with this full moon energy, these are the things that you have to realize about yourself. But where's your indestructibility at? Is it in your fine physique? And Soothsayer, I'm sorry for messing with you this whole this whole conversation, but Soothsayer was the first person, I want to say like the first person that ever really sold into me, that really believed in me in the history of like YouTube. Like she was a moon in air, like she was a sun in Aries, and she just like she talked to me. She's a real healer. She talked to me, got a reading. We started talking about 11 o'clock or something. It was a late night reading. I think we talked for about like 5 hours, right? And that was a long time ago. That was years and years ago. And today, right? Still here, still, and she like it wasn't never nothing like this. And she was like, boy, you gonna grow, you gonna be all right, you gonna grow, you gonna grow, you know what I'm saying? You gonna da 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 da. And I'm just like, I hear you, sis, I hear you, but she was right, you know what I'm saying? It worked out. You feel me? Like, and she was like, it's gonna be so many people, probably like 500 followers or something, like 500 subscribers. Like, I was like so long ago, probably had to be 2017, had to be 2017. And listen, I wouldn't change shit from then to now, because it's all been divine. It's all been in truth, and it's all been in just understanding and studying. And because of that, I'm sharing the message now that if it motivated me to be a father, to be a husband, like, I'm really married. Like, a lot of niggas, like, I'm really legit married. Like, my wife got a ring, and she's like, she's kept. You feel me? And like I said, that's like me going a long way of growth and development, because Lord knows. So we're gonna close this out. We're gonna do some reading, and we're gonna tie this all up with a bow. And I'm gonna send y'all home. with some positive energy. And we're going to read from the heart of I am, the point of divine origin. Okay, this is, what I tend to do. I've come to these conclusions about the body and Kundalini and chakras and Ophiuchus, 13 sign astrology, sidereal astrology, and all of these things. I've come to these conclusions on my own. It's always cool and awesome to see other people who've come to those same conclusions on their own by doing different methods. And so everything that this woman says, I feel like is Bible. I feel like she grew up in my church. She my best friend, but I never met her before. This is Robin Mary Edwards with the point of divine origin. So let's read. Ophiuchus is the body and the blood. The body is space, and the blood is time that flows through the body as one sacred Eucharist, one body and blood, Alpha and Omega. One body and blood in which the cosmos of being is. This is the hallowed place I am. The body and blood of the temple of being is the cosmos of man as one being with the universe. Okay? Who is Jagannath? Okay? Who is Jagannath? Jagannath is the Lord of the universe, family. Okay? Jagannath is the Lord of the universe. So let's keep going. We are one with the universe. We are the universe because we are the solar panel to the solars. We are the solar panel to the lunar. We are a lunar panel. We are a celestial panel. We can channel this celestial energy and make our day great. I just want you to tune in and tap into the infinite power of the universe that you have access to, family. I know you have access to it. You may not know that you have access to it because of Jermaine's bitch ass, okay? We about to separate Jermaine and we going to tune into our infiniteness, okay? So, is the cosmos of man as one being with the universe, one presence of infinite perfection, the immaculate concept. Okay, Kundalini is conception, it is reconception. The immaculate conception is that we can rebirth ourselves in spirit without Jermaine's ass. We are the Virgin Mary essentially because we raised our Kundalini without Jermaine's ass. We didn't need David, we didn't need Joseph, we just used ourselves and our energy and our meditation and rose ourselves up from our root chakra, the base of our spines. The serpent from the depths, Ashe. The serpent represents the raising of the mother energies, the goddess energies, often called the Kundalini. The serpent is represented in the Hebrew letter Samek or Sagittarius, which is the coil snake that rises from the white base of the spine chakra, Ashe, straight up the crystal cord called the Shushima Nadi, Ashe, and this is represented by a central canal of the spinal cord in the central nervous system in the physical body. It is the Shushumna Nadi that connects the base of the spine chakra to the crown chakra as one ascension of the light of Ein Sof. Ashe. This is where, okay, full moon in Pisces, Ashe. This is where the Pisces, the fish, that is the feet of Ophiuchus, Ashe, and is the gold ray in the Hebrew letter Kaf, okay, is raised to meet the crown, which is Aries, Ashe, the head, the yellow ray, the Hebrew letter Ha, Ashe. I just commented on her video, I just commented that on an Instagram post to Soothsayer, but I digress. As the seed, we've been talking about the seed, the son of Virgo, the seed of Virgo, we plant the seed, we know what the fuck we're going to do. I'm going to be a raw vegan. I'm about to set up some things in my life, the Detroit Church of Consciousness and things of that nature. You got all goals in yourself. We planting that seed today for this full moon, and we are going to raise it up through our central canal because the same thing is going to happen the next cycle. We align with the celestial energies, it aligns with our hormones, and we start thinking different, we start doing different, we start being different, and our life start changing. Family, if I was talking about anything that I did not experience, I would not say anything, Ashe. And cough, associated with an axe and with the opening of the crown for the flow of enlightenment, Ashe. It is here at Pisces, the full moon of Pisces, September 20th. The feet of the human body meets Aries at the head in the circle, and the cycle of evolution is complete, Ashe, because you are complete within yourself. You don't need shit outside of yourself, and spirit will beat you over the head till you realize that, family. It will put you in the worst situations that you have ever seen in your life till you realize that you never needed shit outside of yourself. I can only be a bear witness to that. Officuous to see the Lord is now the rule of heaven and earth. That is the body and the mind. That is your lower self and your higher self. And he has command over the serpent, which is the rod of creation. This is your manifestation. This is your staff of caduceus. This is your airbud 1, 2, and 3. Okay? It's the trilogy. He has command over all forces of nature. And this is where I disagree. Not this, but we'll get going. And is the divine alchemist and co-creator with the goddess, Ashe. The Kundalini energy is rising, and I'm so happy that we're able to share this space. I'm so happy that you'll be able to share this message to your children, letting your children know you don't need that goddamn phone in your hand. You need to do some meditation with me, do some yoga with me. You know what I'm saying? Let's tune into our energy. Let's do some Kundalini yoga. Tell your children that God is within them. Tell your children that they are gods. Tell your children that they don't need all of the shit outside of them to feel validated and verified out here in these streets. Tell your children that they are actual carbon copies of you, and you are amazing, essentially. So we are just twinning out here, doing the best that we can do. But let's get into this divine alchemy. We taking all of the bullshit of the past. As melanated people, we are moving into a space of divine rightness, and it's through alchemy because we are not holding the negative energy of slavery. We are not holding the negative energy of oppression. We are moving into the energy of divinity because when you look at anybody's face and you have tuned and affirmed your divine energy, you know what people feel? They feel your attunement. So in your fear, you just telling me that you haven't attuned to your divine energy because you're going to start looking different. You're going to start feeling different. This is a major breakthrough. This is a major turning event. And I want you to really understand that the Kundalini energy that I was referencing wasn't just off the figment of my imagination. It's a real divine time of your energies rising. And we are about to shift and change some shit. But the ways that we shift and change shit is by being in the command center. And the command center is not being a foot soldier. It's not being a pawn. Okay? It's about controlling things with your mind. Why? Because the mind is all. Okay? But I ain't going to preach to y'all no longer. I hope y'all have a wonderful full moon. Like I said, we got space for one, but you're going to be scrunched up between Jesse and John. So, I mean, they some cool kids, though, at the end of the day. So, y'all would just be having, sharing cookies and crackers back and forth. With all that being said, but we up at Mackinac for this full moon tomorrow night. But I hope y'all enjoy the full moon with y'all family, friends, and loved ones. What I say is do something special. What I say is make sure you know where you're gonna be at the next 13 moon cycle. Ashe. Do not get caught lacking. Do not get caught slipping, because at the end of the day, you do have a guardian angel that you can tune in and tap into. Why? Or you wouldn't be here, Ashe. You wouldn't be here. So if you out here feeling like you lost, you better give thanks, because there's a lot of people out here. I'm gonna say this one thing and I'm gonna leave y'all, all right, for the day, but I'll be back. It's a lot of people out here, right, with a lot of money, a lot of ashe, a lot of fame, a lot of money, a lot of things going on, a lot of girls, a lot of shit going on, and they ain't here today, family. They not here today because somebody violated their energy. But in reference to that, you understand, your guardian angels made sure that that didn't happen to you at the same token. So that gives some ashe to be given to your guardian angel in this space it is. I know that I rock with Metatron the hard way, whether you like him, whether you hate him. Some people might call him a demon, but in reference to the conversations that I'm receiving, shit, you know, you gonna have what you have, and I'm gonna have what I'm have. Everybody's goddamn demon is somebody else's hero at the end of the day. It just depends on what side you're on. So a lot of people can feel like I'm a demon or demonize me. I got my channel done got demonetized, hell, but I'm still here. You know why, family? I got inner strength. I'm tuned in and tapped into my guardian angels, and what? We are fucking indestructible, Ashe. So I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Remember